no, yeah, get more of like an up and down motion.
Shake
Yeah,
it.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
shake
like
it into your
that.
mouth.
Is that what you're
Yeah,
getting at?
Yeah.
Really getting after it. Ooh, ooh. So I figured out how to do. Do we have to adjust the volume for the intro?
Yeah, you gotta crank it all the way up. I got it all queued up already. Go. You
Okay,
ready?
yeah, I'm ready to rock.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Off the Cut, a podcast where we talk about building, making,
and answering all of your questions.
I'm Eric from Spenceley Design Co.
And I'm Zach from Zach Builds. If you have a question that you would like us to answer on air, you can send it to offthecutpodcast@gmail.com.
You can find both of us on YouTube, Instagram, and unfortunately, because we have to keep up with the kids, you can find us on TikTok too.
All right, now let's get into the show.
You've made it to Off the Cut episode 95. We're up in Toronto and here in Ohio. Today is known as Tuesday, December 19th, 2023, which means the Green Series podcast, the worst podcast available on Apple and Spotify, still sucks. But you know who? It's such a good intro.
I always think you're gonna put a little flourish on it and do something different for every episode, and then you just hit me with the same one, and it still makes me chuckle.
I don't know. Well, they still suck. So
Yeah, fair enough.
But you know what doesn't suck?
KM Tools, baby.
KM Tools. And they are a company run by our good buddy. This is where we need that. You ever notice when you ever talk to Jonathan, he always goes like, "Hey buddy," like he always has this like this thing he says, right? We need like the same ship clip that Shop Sounds has.
We need a Cat's Moses soundboard is what we need.
Yeah, we do.
We could go through like a bunch of his videos and cut out some of his sayings and his isms.
Yeah. He's got a lot of them.
Yeah.
But one of his isms is that if it's in his store, it's in his shop.
That's right. I like that transition. That was really good.
See what I did there?
Yeah, that was smart.
That's because KM Tools is a company for woodworkers by woodworkers.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you buy on there is going to be high quality. It's either made by Jonathan and his team, or it's a super good value, and he vets everything.
That's right. And a portion of every sale goes to the Cat's Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund.
You bet it does. So that's awesome. And because Jonathan doesn't just want to pay us, he also wants to pay you guys.
That's right.
Every single month, we're giving away $50. Well, he is giving away a $50 gift card to KM Tools. All you have to do to enter to win that is sign up on Patreon, and you're automatically entered. Nothing else. You just get the gift card. Yeah, well, and all the other Patreon perks. But
yeah. But that stuff's all kind of BS compared to the gift card. Let's be real. That's just like more time with you and I. Who wants that?
I mean, no one really wants to listen to the hour-long after show or get access to the Discord or hang out with us tonight on our live group video chat. Yeah. And a bunch of other stuff. But huge thanks to Jonathan for sponsoring the show. And let's get right into it.
All righty. Let's do it.
So I guess the first thing we should talk about for everybody on the live stream tonight. Tonight is our monthly group video hangout where we all get together after a show and talk about whatever, ask questions, just chill, hang out. So be on the lookout over on Patreon. Well, I already sent it out. It's the link to the video chat for that. So that'll be for all of the, what was it, $25 tiered up people, I think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's the way
Something like that. It's on Patreon. You can check it out if you want to join us. But we will be headed over there tonight. There will be no after show tonight because we are doing the monthly live hangout. So I think that's all the admin stuff.
Okay, well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this bad boy then.
Well, one of the things that we had talked about a couple episodes back was that, Zach, I think you had mentioned the fact that like you always you get a lot of turd comments, right? People that are just like blasting you, just being rude for the sake of being rude, right?
I want to say like 50% of my comments
50?
Yeah, it's actually surprisingly high. I don't know, maybe I'm just a very unlikable person, which I
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
to a large degree.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Scroll through my comments, there's a lot of mean stuff. And maybe maybe it's not actually that bad and I just kind of easily notice the mean stuff, but yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, and one like your videos are out, and this is a compliment. They're outperforming your channel
Yeah,
recently.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like I'm reaching a wider audience than just people who are subscribed to me.
Right. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's fantastic. But with that means that your stuff's getting shown to a
Yes.
totally new audience. And when people do
Yes.
that, they don't know you. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh, who is this guy? I'm going to blast them in the comments. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's as a creator, that's it's a sign of success when you start getting hateful comments. It's like counterintuitive, but it just means that you are reaching beyond your own tribe or the people who watch your videos on a regular basis. So that definitely does help. Like seeing those comments, like, well, I am, it's like I'm getting out there,
Yeah.
even though it's people say mean things. But whatever.
Something's going well if you're just getting repeatedly blasted,
Yeah.
which doesn't, like you said, doesn't make sense, but
Yeah.
it's the reality.
Look, there are nice comments in there too, and those people are the people who you kind of filter out, and they become your subscribers, and they become part of your tribe, so
Right.
to speak, right?
Right.
So,
Right. But because it's the holiday season, and we don't want to dwell on negativity, one
mhm,
of the things that we had talked about was when you first start a channel, no one's watching your stuff. And you
no,
might get like one or two comments on a video. And if you get something negative, it might just completely derail you. And you're like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. So
yeah,
we challenged ourselves and all of you guys to go on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, find a small creator and just leave a nice comment, like something like very encouraging, you know, and give back. Try to encourage people to do kind of this kind of thing. So I found one that I want to share. And I know I'm
ooh,
throwing
okay,
you guys on the spot. So I don't if you haven't done it yet, it doesn't matter. But
okay,
I found one that I wanted to share today. The channel was
Instagram
Barber
or YouTube?
YouTube. It was on YouTube.
okay.
Okay.
It's called
Look this up. Yeah.
Barber Paddock or Barbers BARBER apostrophe S Paddock PADDOCK woodworking.
Oh
The
yeah.
channel's got about 5,000 subs, and the video that I saw that popped up was a video. It was basically how he had used like using lasers to create like inside of drawer boxes, basically
Hmm.
just like bang out like small little cubbies that are like super modular and stuff like that. And it
Yeah.
was a really interesting like organization hack. And when I first saw this video, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. This guy's probably got to have a pretty big channel. I got 5,000 subs, and like
Yeah.
the editing was fantastic. The
I'm
voice was
looking.
crystal clear. It was fantastic.
I'm looking at it. Even his thumbnails are actually well, not. I sound surprised there, but his thumbnails are quite good. They're very clear and
Mhm.
you get a sense of what he's trying to show in every video, which is something that I feel like a lot of early on YouTubers they make a mistake there. He's only been at it for a year, so
Right.
and he's posted
Got
a
a lot
lot.
for a
Like
year. Yeah.
yeah, like how many videos is this? 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 30 videos in a year. That's impressive.
Sounds like what I was doing, but he's got way more subs than I did at that point.
Yeah, me
Probably doing
too.
every
Me
other
too.
week.
Yeah.
Right, right. But yeah, definitely a pretty cool channel. I'm interested to pop in and see what other stuff they've got.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Are we subscribing as a podcast?
Sure.
Oh yeah, let's give
Do
him a
it.
subscription.
Subscribed.
Subscribe.
Look at that.
Now, did you leave a comment?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which on that one about the laser cut drawers?
I believe so. I don't know. I
And
checked out several of the other ones too, but it was interesting. I was
yeah,
just like, this. It was a clever idea. It was very well crafted. Yeah, I thought the channel was pretty cool.
this is a great channel. I'm actually gonna watch that video because I'm thinking about getting a laser myself because I need
Laser.
more tools to do woodworking that's not actually real woodworking.
Yeah, you got a CNC.
Yeah.
You've got a 3D printer.
So why not go for the trifecta?
What's the next thing that's going to piss people off?
It's the
You
laser.
can't,
It's
Laser.
always the
you
laser.
can't build your robot army without a laser.
That's right. That's right.
So after you get a laser, what could piss people off even more after that?
Oh, that's a great question. Um,
Plasma CNC.
yeah, water jet.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
one of those water jets that'll cut through like half-inch plate steel?
I'm pretty sure I saw
Yeah.
one when I was with Jay at Woodpeckers. I think it was a water
Ooh,
jet.
cool, cool. There's a YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of the guy's channel now. It's a pretty big channel, and he has a water jet that's just massive. Um, damn, I can't remember the name of his channel. He's one of these guys who only posts like 5 times a year, but what he does, it's like a big epic.
Was it me?
You posted like 5 times this month, so let me see if I
Uh,
can pull it up.
no, you'll see if you can find it. Well, Derek, I'll turn this one your way. Did you run across any small channels that you wanted to highlight for the holiday give back season?
No, I got to be honest. I was super busy this week, and I
This
haven't been
guy.
online that much. I did go
I
looking the other night, just in my free time. I started scrolling through Instagram looking for something. Everything that kept coming across my feed had like 1 million or like a couple 100,000 followers. I was like, that's not going to work. That's not what we're
You know
looking
what?
for.
Yeah, so this is actually a more challenging question or task than you would
Yeah,
initially think because the best discovery happens for the bigger channels, right? Because
Right.
it does.
they know how to make a killer video, so the algorithm pumps them out more.
Right.
So how did you end up finding this barber guy?
It was actually on the YouTube homepage, which is something I
Oh,
don't use. It did take me a little while because I found some interesting ones, and then I was like, okay, they have a check mark next to their name. They've got a big channel. I was trying to find one that didn't have a check mark in it that was actually something I was interested in watching,
yeah.
not just some random nonsense of me being like, oh, small channel, cool. I'll just pick this one. I was like, oh, this is pretty neat. This is a neat idea.
I will say on YouTube on my feed, because I go through the suggested feed a lot, it
Yeah.
does suggest channels that are smaller to me more
I have
often
noticed
than
this.
anywhere else.
I was actually I'm glad you brought that up, Derek, because I've been wanting to talk about this. I continuously get served videos that have like 300 views
Me too.
in
Mm,
my recommended thing. And I was like, is that a tweak that YouTube's making in order to promote smaller creators? And if so, like good on them. That's awesome.
yeah.
I was curious if it had to deal with the size of our channels. But I mean, Derek, if you're seeing that as well on your end, that
Oh, interesting.
it's not
So
necessarily correlated.
yeah, I have two accounts. I use my Zach Builds one now more, but I used to have a personal one that I just
Yeah.
use it. And I've noticed the same thing on both.
Hmm.
But that's an interesting theory that it's like showing us smaller creators.
I don't know.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'll be honest, I did not do the assignment.
These
I know.
guys. This is like the
I know.
Green Suiters podcast out here.
But before we got on the air, I was researching doing a little research for my next project. I put out the PS2 video, that's going pretty well.
Yeah, it
Um
is.
and a lot of people were requesting the PS3 video, so I was like doing a little research, and I stumbled across this guy's channel. So his channel is called NSC Mods, and he does some really wild, over the top modifications to old video game consoles.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't left a nice comment for
NSC.
him yet, but it seems like a good. Yeah, there you go. Derek's got it
Interesting.
all pulled up. So he's got a fully water cooled PS3 that I thought would make for a fun future project. So I was gonna watch his video and see how he did it.
I mean, how
Yeah.
many subs is this guy? What's the channel size?
29.
29,000.
Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah,
still a good sized channel.
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
got some bangers too. He's got some videos that are 500,000 views. He's been at it for a long time, 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like those video game videos get a lot of views.
yeah. Well, it turns out people have a lot of nostalgic feelings, myself
Yeah.
included, wrapped up in old games.
Yeah. And hell, nerds don't like to leave their homes, so YouTube is the first place to go.
Hell yeah. I can attest to that personally.
So can you imagine though if like how well these videos are doing for you? If like I don't know anything about
Imagine
this
I was
stuff.
actually good at making videos.
I know. But like imagine if you had like a product, like you're like, oh, this is the Zach Builds fan. I'm gonna put the Builds fan in this thing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be
And
fun.
and now everyone's gonna be like, well, damn, I need to
Yeah,
get that Zach Builds fan.
that's true. That'd be fun. Yeah, maybe I'll start approaching a bunch of different companies, seeing if they want to partner up.
Have you, but in all seriousness, have you ever considered going about making a product
I
the
have.
same
So,
way people do, where you basically are just white labeling something? So, like, you
yeah,
take a fan and then you just print Zach Builds on it, and you're like, "This is my Zach Builds fan."
that's true. That's true. I should look into some white label goods and see what's out there. I feel like you had to spend a lot of time sifting through crap because I'm not going to put my
Yeah,
name on a fan that's, loud and doesn't move much air and blah blah blah. But yeah, it's a good idea.
but just do like what Cam from Blacktail did.
Yeah,
Carbon
true.
Method is whatever his thing. It's the same product, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah, definitely.
Comes from the same factory.
Yep. Yeah.
I've got
I
to
mean, yeah,
imagine it's the same product. He just
yeah, they just
relabeled it.
slap a different label on it and he sells it to his audience. It's an interesting channel. I would
Right.
yeah, I'd love to try something like that.
And then there's no fulfillment either.
Mhm. Which is big. I was actually thinking in a similar vein of hiring a graphic designer to make some cool t-shirts that were kind of like woodworking and tech themed.
I've thought of the exact same thing because oh, we'll get into this later. My new
Okay.
website's finally up, and I'm like,
Ooh, out of beta or
yeah,
yeah,
it's up there.
I'm pulling it up now.
And so I'm like,
Ooh,
I
I
want
like
to
the
have
video
like
right at the
some
start.
merch. Yeah, like
Woodworking simplified.
yeah, I
That's
couldn't
that's a
think of anything
very
words to throw up there.
that's a very high quality video to be playing in a banner. Like it loaded instantly.
It's 4K, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. That looks awesome. It definitely does soften it. I think Miranda was right.
Yeah,
It gives you
this is 100%
Yeah.
Miranda's idea. She
yeah.
goes, "Did I click on something?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, I went onto your website and then you're instantly like trying to sell me something." She's like, "This seems kind of abrasive." I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
"I didn't even think about that."
Yeah, you softened it and I like that it's got a lot of you in it too. Like it's there's just like goofy moments you wave into the camera and stuff.
Yeah, and I should
Yeah.
also say what Derek just found on the website. I whipped up a quick thing in Photoshop, and we have a new T-shirt,
Oh no. Oh.
and it
Okay, how did
says, "Only you can prevent the Green Suiters podcast."
is this AI generated?
Partially.
Because it looks awesome.
It
Yeah.
doesn't look bad, huh?
Yeah, that looks great.
Only you can prevent the Green Suiters podcast. Available on all streaming platforms.
Well, look, if this doesn't fly off the shelves, I don't know what will.
I
Get
know.
get for a loved one. Pick it up this holiday season.
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
got hats, got T-shirts, got all kinds of stuff on there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
That's,
not bad. So,
I'm gonna get an off the cut hat made. I need a new hat anyways. All mine are gross, covered in sawdust. So
oh man, that's how this one is. Like this one I've got now, it's got paint and all kinds of stuff on it. Like,
what
Oh, those are the
when I
best.
was when I was first starting out as a content creator, one of the first things you get in terms of like perks is you just get swag kind of showing up to your house
mhm,
on a pretty consistent basis, right? So
get that
I've
firm
got
grip
like
hat.
exactly. I've got firm grip hats. I've got gator sandpaper hats and stuff like that. Once you get to a certain point, that stuff stops.
I
I haven't got it.
know.
I haven't gotten anything that's like I mean, I'm spoiled here because tools and stuff show up in the mail, but I haven't
Right.
gotten any like beer koozies or hats or T-shirts in a while.
I know. I like the free T-shirts are nice because they're usually really soft, and I
Yep.
would wear them while I would like paint and stuff. So I'm like, ah,
Yep.
if I get it ruined, like,
Who
whatever,
cares? Yeah.
just get rid of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So new website is up.
Awesome.
That whole saga is finally over, and I can focus on things that actually well, the website matters, but like I
Mhm.
can actually proceed forward on doing all of these other
Doing
things I
doing
want
some
to do
projects.
now.
I just noticed two things on your website that I would like to address real quickly.
Please.
I didn't realize that you named all of your designs. You got the Cody coffee table, the Eleanor dining table. How do you pick the names?
To be honest with like, so the Eleanor dining table, that's our cat's name is Eleanor, and she
Okay.
always sits at the table while we eat dinner. Like literally,
Oh, okay.
we like pull her chair out. She sits in the chair and just like puts her paws up on the table and just watches us eat.
That's
So we're
hilarious.
like, this is basically her dining table.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And then sometimes the names are like for who it was made for.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Because not
Yeah.
only does it seem like it has a name, but I could be like, "Oh, it was that, the table I made for Cody," or like, whatever.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like Cody coffee table. I was like, maybe you just did it because it's a fun alliteration.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. It
Okay,
just
okay.
helps me remember rather than just calling it walnut dining table. Like, okay, at some point I'm gonna have like 6 of those, and I'm not gonna remember which one it was, right?
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
And then the other question I have for you is in this video that's playing on screen right now. Maybe we're gonna see it in a second.
Oh,
You,
yeah. The,
you
entertainment center thing.
well, it is the entertainment center, but I'm actually more curious about how you got a flashlight to stick to your switch like that. There's like a flashlight randomly suspended on the wall next to the light switch. Come
I
on.
don't know. I don't think it's a flashlight. It's
It
a,
really looked like a flashlight.
oh, no, it probably was a flashlight, and it's probably, like, on a
There. Wait.
string.
Hold on, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay, it's coming, hold on.
Oh, it's just out of frame. No, it's like it's on top of that light switch there, and now we'll
So
never
that's
get
where
it
we
again.
have this little, like, mail thing that holds, like, letters and keys and stuff like that.
Oh, it's
Oh,
dangling.
So it's probably on a string,
Okay. All
if I had
right.
to
Well,
guess. Yeah,
yeah. There we go.
yeah. How
Problem
how
solved.
how long do you think it's gonna be before I get an email? Somebody's like, "Hey, so I was looking at the video on your homepage, and it looks like you got this big media console. Did you put the video of that out?" And I'm gonna be like, "No. Made that a year ago. It's still not out yet."
Was it really a year? I thought you were working on it in the summertime.
I can tell you when I opened it. Let's see. A
And that
floating
that
media
video is
console.
completely done, right? You're just waiting for a sponsor?
Yeah, it says April 6th was when I created it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's not too
Yeah.
bad.
Well, still 8 months,
But
7 months.
yeah. So website is up. That was a nightmare.
Yeah, yeah. But you got it done. Did you modify the back end? Did you go in and, like, do it all yourself, or did you get
Oh
the
yeah.
firm? Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And let me just say, from going from Shopify, going from Squarespace to going to Shopify,
yeah.
Shopify is, if how should I say this? If you're looking to sell anything, do not waste your time on Squarespace.
Right. It's not their e-commerce stuff is all kind of feels like a tacked on extra.
Oh, it's so antiquated.
Yeah, they started out as like a website, you know, I don't know, create websites for photographers and stuff like that. Where
Right.
your website was meant to be more of a portfolio, and then I feel
Right.
like all the commerce stuff, they kind of got feedback from people, and they're like, we should start tacking on some e-commerce stuff, and it feels very tacked on.
yeah.
Whereas Shopify is built from the ground up to be
Right.
an e-commerce platform.
If you're somebody like, so like that's a great way to say it. If you're looking to just post tons and tons of photos and like make it a portfolio,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Squarespace is going to be easier. If you're looking to sell stuff, Shopify is 1,000 times easier. However, Shopify does actually make it more challenging to upload assets. And what I mean by assets are like photos, videos, that are not products. So like if you just want to
mm,
have like grids of like your projects that you've made, but you're not selling any of them,
yeah.
it's much more difficult to do that. You would have to go and get like basically like apps or add-ons or plugins to
Gotcha,
do that. Um,
gotcha.
but really the intent of my website is to drive sales
Yeah,
and sell things. So
yeah.
that's what I'm going for with Shopify. I've abandoned the whole blog idea
Yeah, blogs are kind of going the way of the dodo, I think.
I just
Yeah.
don't. I have no interest in doing it.
How many blogs do you personally read?
None.
I used to read a bunch back in the day. 10 years ago, I had
Oh, really?
I would sit down at my computer and I had, I don't know, 5, 6 blogs that I would check every day.
Right.
And now I never do that anymore. So,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
in summary, if you just want to post photos and make it like a portfolio, Squarespace is great. If you're looking to sell anything, especially especially physical products, or you need to calculate sales tax,
Oh, yeah.
do not use
Those
Squarespace.
things. Yeah. Yeah.
You know the Squarespace's thing that like calculates sales tax? It's called TaxJar. And it
Okay.
will charge you like several $100s a month to calculate sales
Oh,
tax.
wow. I guess their feeling is that if you're making enough money where you have to be collecting sales tax, you must have a pretty big store and
Right.
yeah.
Right. But so far Shopify has been excellent. The
Great.
only thing that took a little time was obviously the whole setting up Shopify, and that the
Yeah.
people that I hired effed it up royally. Um, but like transferring my domains and servers and stuff like that was a little bit of a pain, because I get that it's not instant. Like you have
Mhm.
this like 12 to 24-hour period where like you change it. So people were like, "Hey, I'm going to your website and nothing's happening." I'm like,
Ah,
I
yeah.
know. It's like I submitted the new one and like it's gonna take a minute for all that to sync and stuff. And
Yeah.
so working through
I hear
that.
you. I hear you.
Ugh.
So who does your fulfillment on the physical items?
I don't have like
They're all
merch.
drop shipped,
Yeah,
I think, right?
yeah,
It's
you drop
drop
ship.
shipping.
Is it
Yeah.
Teespring or
It's one of those. I don't remember which one it is.
Mm.
isn't that funny? You just redid your website and you don't it's like it's so simplified and streamlined, you don't even know who does it because you don't really even have to interact with it anymore.
Right. Honestly, the merch isn't even a it's not even a moneymaker. Like
Yeah.
No.
if I wanted to make money on it, I would charge like $38 for a t-shirt. I'm
I'm
pretty
looking
sure I
at
make
your
like $6 on a t-shirt or $8 on a t-shirt.
well, your t-shirts right now, maybe it's doing automatic conversion to Canadian for me, but they cost $36 on my screen right now.
Yeah, it automatically converts it.
Okay, okay, so that's why.
So mine's 26 or 27 US.
Interesting, interesting. Cool. Shopify, baby.
Yeah, Shopify's great. They're not a sponsor yet, but I'm trying to get them as one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They do a lot of YouTube advertising, so
I
I'm
heard they
sure you
have
could
deep pockets too.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they basically have a license to print money. Every store that's on the internet is basically giving them, 1% of their revenue or whatever.
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Them
And
or
the nice
Amazon.
thing is it's just they have an endless like market, like an app store for
Yeah.
things to add on. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what is this?
Yeah, what is
Did you
that?
just see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Was that you, Derek?
No.
What just I put my
Oh, dude.
This
what
is
is
like
this?"
they were talking about that on Shop Sounds this week too. Like that happened with I think it's a Mac thing.
It must be a Mac thing. It must 100% be a
So,
Mac thing.
for everybody listening, I put my thumbs up, and now this like thumbs up bubble comes up. And now if I do a thumbs down,
Uh?
what?
Oh.
Oh,
What
I wonder
What
is
what
else
the
can you
this?
do?
picture is.
We can do like this.
What if I do this? Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing? Piece? I get a piece? No.
Hold
Huh.
on, hold on.
What about this is one right?
Yeah. Or just the horns.
Do peace. You might
Piece?
get balloons.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
balloons.
yeah. Okay, now do a heart. Do a heart.
Oh my god, this is nuts. This is terrible so I guess people listening to the podcast. I just updated my computer like an hour or two ago. And now when I make
Oh,
gestures at the camera,
it's just the weird
emojis and like
graphics on
stuff
screen.
pop up.
Give me one last one. Give me the double bull horns.
Double bull horns? What's this one?
Oh
Oh,
my
now I
god.
got lasers and smoke going on. Man, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I forgot what I was even talking about. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Shopify's been great. I also bought a bunch of other domains So
Oh
like
yeah,
I
like
got the
GleamStudiospodcast.com.
no, I should buy that. I got like the .co, the .net,
Yeah,
the Spencely desing
yeah.
co.
Common
Dot
misspellings.
com, common
Yeah.
misspellings, and it's like it's not bad. And then once I get them all set up, I'm actually going to redirect them. So if somebody mistypes it, it redirects them to my website and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just working on some of that kind of stuff. I mean, honestly, am I really a big target for somebody to try to steal and impersonate my domain? I
Probably
don't think
not, but
so.
you never know.
You never know.
I had one of those YouTube bots or scammers scamming my audience again. I didn't do any
Nice.
giveaway posts or anything like that. He just started messaging people in my comments section saying, "Hey, message me on Telegram. I've got like a free, I don't know, PS5 or something for you." So I was getting all these emails and DMs on Instagram like, "Hey, where's my PlayStation 5?"
Jesus, people are so
I know.
stupid.
I know.
Did you go in your YouTube settings and like put Telegram as a banned word?
Oh, no, I didn't do that. We even talked about doing that on the
Yeah.
podcast.
I did
Yeah,
that, and since I've had that, I have had no one email about
okay,
that kind
okay.
of stuff.
All right. I'm gonna maybe even try and do that right now if I can.
Maybe even the word giveaway or prize.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways,
But yeah.
annoying.
Well,
Damn
speaking of
scammers.
giveaways, I did my giveaway for in the last one of the videos I put out, the 10 tools I recommend or whatever.
Okay, yeah,
I did like an embedded giveaway of like I just kept randomly talking about something and gesturing at something like I was actually talking about it. I was like, well, if you're actually paying attention, there's a link that says like flamingo feathers or something. Go in the description, click on that, and you can enter a giveaway or whatever.
mhm,
I picked the winner like a day or two ago.
mhm.
Person never responded. So like how
Oh,
long do I wait for the
great
person?
question, great
Yeah.
question. I feel like you give them
Like a week?
yeah, I'd say a week is pretty fair. So, I'm curious to know how this person gets notified that they've won.
So on Gleam, which is the Gleam.io service, again, something we're not sponsored by, I paid for it
Yeah.
myself.
Oh, you have to
Um,
pay for it. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
so it's free, but I paid $50 for a 1 month subscription because then you can add tons of other features and you can the whole reason people do giveaways, sorry guys, is to get access to everyone's email to build up
Yeah,
your email list.
yeah.
Um, if you
That
do
am
the
I.
free version, you only get the email of the winner.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's
I
a
got like 8,000 emails for
wow,
50
crazy.
bucks. Not bad.
Yeah. So let me oh, I had a question now. It's are you going to continue to keep up your Gleam subscription or are you
Oh no, I
going
canceled
to
it.
Oh, okay.
I'll just honestly, I'll just pay 50 bucks
Every
whenever I
time you do a
want to
giveaway.
do another one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to do
Sure.
12 a year.
Yeah. Cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But so
Um
you basically go on there and then you're like pick a winner and then it goes like boom, here's your winner.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
then
So the reason I asked is like, is it possible that this person has gotten a notification from Gleam, but because Gleam is such a high volume emailer, maybe it went into their spam folder?
no, it says on Gleam that they do not contact the winner for me. I have to contact them.
Oh, so you sent them an email.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe worth sending like from your personal account or something like that, just in case.
Yeah, I sent it from my Eric at SpenceleyDesignCo.com, which I think is the least
Yeah,
Yeah.
likely to be impersonated, and it looks the
yeah,
most legit, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Hey,
So,
if they got you going to spam, that's on them.
Yeah,
right. So, what do you think? I wait a week, and then if I don't hear back from, I just draw another winner.
I think so. I would give them a
Yeah.
good solid week.
Yeah,
A week, 2 at the most. And
especially
then
because it's
maybe
Especially
holiday time. Like I get it.
yeah, might be on vacation, might be out of town or something.
and then if you do another one in the future, maybe put a bullet point at the bottom, notification will come out if you don't respond within so long, then a new
Oh
drawing is
yeah,
made.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a good call. Good call.
yeah, definitely.
Because
Hey,
it's not
learning
like I
opportunity.
expect that you respond within like a couple hours. Like I get it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
You gave away one of those battery bank things, right?
No, I gave away. Well, I did do one of those battery bank
Oh,
giveaways.
that was on Instagram.
Yeah, and that ended up going to someone in like Utah or Arizona or something.
That's cool.
So maybe they're like a camper, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Okay,
the
well,
one I did on
going
YouTube
down.
was just for a pair of like Bluetooth hearing protection.
Oh, cool. ISO
Mm.
tunes?
No, it was one of the other brands that I work with, Elgin or
Elgin.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, they send it. It's like every month they just send like a couple of their products to me. I don't know why, but whenever I like go to places, like if they have like little woodworking get-togethers or shows or whatever in Columbus, I just take them and I just give them to people.
Yeah,
So
smart.
it's like it doesn't cost me anything other than shipping. Like
Yeah.
I was happy to do it. And right around the holiday time, who's not down for a $150 pair of free headphones? It's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I saw you also released a new video. Actually, both of you guys released new videos recently, so I want to talk to both of you about that. But Eric, I had a question for you about the thumbnail of your latest video.
So many people did.
Ooh.
Yes. So, super close up shot of your finger. I had it up on my TV downstairs. Sophie walked by and she was like, "What's up with his fingernail?" So, I wanted to know, did you
Oh yeah.
Photoshop that to make it more noticeable? Or do you just
No.
have a kind of screwy fingernail?
That's so I did this on purpose. I was like, so this video's all about how I got rid of my table saw and like kind of like the
Yeah.
evolution of like how, I started with this saw or whatever and like why I upgraded and whatnot. And I was like, how do I make an interesting thumbnail? And I was like, well, table saws are like a hot button topic for people.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna take a really, really close up, zoomed in photo
Yep.
of the table saw, and I'm just gonna like point to the blade.
Yeah. Smart.
With-
It's like you feel something as soon as you look at that. Like there's like a visceral feeling. It's like, oh, finger should
Yeah.
not touch blade.
Right, right. And that's what I was kind of going for. And then when I went
Yeah.
to go edit the photos, I was like, oh man, I usually whenever I try to point with my right finger or my right hand because my left hand is the one that I drilled into a couple years ago. And
Mhm.
Okay,
so the
okay.
fingernail is like it grows in like crooked and like funky. It just like doesn't grow like so like let's see.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
grows in like that. Like you can clearly see where I drilled into my finger.
So, for all the kids at home who are listening,
I got like a solid 45.
if you screw up your fingernails, they just stay screwed up. They never
Mhm.
they never heal,
Yeah.
which is super annoying. I have like a crease in one of my thumbnails from, I don't know, I guess like hitting it with a hammer or something like that. And this crease has just stayed in my thumbnail for my
Yeah.
entire life. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a splinter go up underneath my thumbnail, and it
Ooh.
went all the way to the bed. The quill, the white part in the back,
Ooh.
and there was just this little black line that lived there for about a year as it
Yeah.
slowly grew out with my fingernail.
Yeah. Oh. I had a I had this brown spot on the inside of my one of my fingers for years. And I just assumed I was like, oh, I guess I have like a little mole on my finger, like no big deal, right? And then one day I was like kind of picking at it a little bit. It's like, wait a minute, that's a piece of wood. So I like grabbed a pair of tweezers and I got it out of there, but
Uh,
the skin had just grown over it and there was just a little piece of wood stuck in between my fingers. Yeah.
it's not working.
Now you gotta hold it up. There you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Hell yeah.
Good laser beams going. I have in between the webbing of my fingers. I don't. Will it come in on camera? You can see a
Yeah.
teeny tiny dot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I see
I
that.
got stabbed with a pencil by
Ooh.
a girl named Adriana Wheeler. I still remember her
Okay.
name in like first
Yeah.
or second grade, and the piece of lead is just like in between my fingers now.
Oh, it's still in there.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess aren't I think that's the way a lot of tattoos work, like early tattoos.
Could be. I
Yeah.
It's
don't know.
like yeah, it's like well, it's just pigment that gets below your skin and gets stuck there, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Embedded between the layers of epidermis.
well, Eric, if you ever want to
Epidermal.
get that out of there, you just get yourself a pair of tweezers and you hack away at it like a meth
Go at it.
addict,
Yeah.
and eventually you'll get it out of there.
That's maybe I'll save that for another thumbnail.
Yes,
Hey,
yeah.
But
so
so
next time
people
you
that,
got to make the blade blurry for the next round whenever you do the A/B testing.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's not a bad idea. Blur out the blade a little
Yeah,
bit.
make it look like it's moving. There's all
Yeah.
sorts of filters where you can apply fake movement to things.
Yeah. That was a lot of effort.
Um, I've noticed that you haven't A/B tested that thumbnail, so is it working quite well for you?
No, I did.
Oh.
So I have access to the YouTube A/B testing for thumbnails now. So it'll actually do it live. It doesn't You don't
Ah,
have to wait day to day. So this one, it performed it had like a 7% higher watch time
okay.
than the other one. So I'm just gonna leave this one here. And what's it at? It's at like, was it 60 or
Last
something?
yeah, last time I
68.
saw it was
In like a
okay.
couple
Oh,
days.
68.
Like I'm
Nice.
thrilled with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
5
yeah.
days.
Yeah.
It's a long video too, so I found that long videos tend to live like a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the average view duration on that bad boy?
It's like
The like
40 or 30 or 40%.
okay, okay. And for again for a long video, but that's in minutes. That's got to be like 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's up in the high teens for sure.
Yeah,
Which is not bad. But I've
yeah.
got messages from people, they're like, "That's not a thumbnail." And I'm like, "You're right. It's a fingernail."
Fingernail. Nice. Nice.
But, yeah, I mean, it seems like the video I didn't think this video was gonna do anything. It was originally, like, 50 minutes, and then I was just like, "I'm gonna cut out so much of this stuff and just, like,
Yeah.
zoom through a bunch of stuff." But people love hearing about why you got a tool, and so that's basically just what I wanted to try to do, so
Yeah.
It moved. I gotta say, it moved. I thought I saw 36 minutes, and I thought, well, this is gonna be a long one. I'll sit down and strap in, but it moved along pretty good pace.
yeah, I was
That's what
trying to pace it, so
for everybody out there who's making YouTube videos, you if you start with a really long video that has just a bunch of stuff happening and then you just hack away at it,
yeah.
hack away at it, hack away at it, that
Got those
video
blink buttons.
will do well. Like that's, if you can condense a whole bunch of stuff into a short amount of time, that really captures people's attention.
Without losing the key moments.
Right.
Yes, yeah. But I make choices all the time like, do I want to keep this little bit or is this really important to the story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind
Can
of
the
you
audience
can yeah.
you gotta
You pick
decide if
and
the
choose
audience can
the
get from A to
words.
B.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what's really important to our story?
Our patrons?
Our patrons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we got a new patron this week,
Ooh.
Mitchell Kraut Kramer.
Kraut Kramer? One word?
Ye-
Hyphenated?
Kraut Kramer. Wonder if he's related to Cosmo Kramer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's his German cousin.
Oh, could be. Sauerkraut Kramer. But so thanks, Mitchell, for joining and supporting the show and aiding in the fight against the Green Suiters podcast, the
Hell
worst
yeah.
podcasts on Apple and Spotify. But returning this week are our top tier patrons. We've got Dan Armendariz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with that. I need to stop fumbling on it. Got Luke Schmidt, Chris from Black Forest Creations, Josh at Freedom Workshop, and Corey Duvall. I guess Dadu's on there, but he hasn't figured out how to use his bank card yet. So he got kicked off, or the bank declined it, or so. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
apparently people have been having issues with Patreon. I've never had any issue. We aren't doing anything, so I don't know.
Oh, Patreon's a nightmare.
Nightmare. But anyway, those are just some of the folks that are going to be joining us tonight for the live video chat that we're going to do
Hell yeah.
every month. And
YOC.
yeah, BYOC. Bring your own camera. And they also get access to the after show. They get entered to win that $50 gift card every single month and a bunch of other perks. But if you want to check those out, you can go over to patreon.com/offthecup podcast.
Woo.
There it is. So
And
Derek, you put out a video too.
Yeah, let's talk about Derek's video.
Yeah, I did a holiday video.
Okay.
I'm assuming that neither of you've watched it yet, which is fine. I just released it earlier today.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I
It's
don't even watch Zach's videos, so
yeah.
I took the Christmas classic. What is it called again? A Visit from Santa. The "'Twas the
Mhm.
Night Before Christmas" poem,
Mhm.
okay.
and I rewrote it as like a woodworker carpenter. and then
Mm.
just
Okay, okay,
recited that over some B-roll.
okay.
So it's just a fun little
Oh.
thing. It's like
A
4
little
minutes.
artistic.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm not gonna. So just based on that, I'm not even gonna look at the thumbnail or look at the title. Have
Okay.
you considered titling it something like? I see. This is live, so it's not gonna be great. Something like how, like a woodworker's Christmas, or like the
Hmm.
way Christmas should be for woodworkers, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
Christmas reimagined for woodworkers.
it's a carpenter's visit from
Ooh.
Santa or from Saint Nick or something like
Okay.
whatever the original title was. I slipped in a carpenter.
I think just it's a carpenter's Christmas.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I see not, and I pride myself in knowing a lot of Christmas, ditties and tunes. I
You
had
get
no
you get
idea what you're
along
getting at with that one.
you get along very well with Sophie. She is all about the Christmas music.
Oh, baby. Day after Halloween, Christmas music is coming up. Might I make a holiday request or a suggestion to anyone out
Mhm.
there?
Sure.
Um, you might have heard of this fella. Hold on, let me stand by.
Okay.
A lot of people know him as Calvin Cordozer Brodus Jr. But is more
Uh,
commonly known as Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
oh,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes,
he's got a
yes.
lovely album called Christmas in the Doghouse.
Oh,
Great, great Christmas album. I don't know if I'd play it around your grandmother.
I was gonna
no.
say, I don't think I'm starting to think that maybe you don't have a similar taste in Christmas music as Sophie, 'cause I don't know that that would
There's a new
fly.
one that's fantastic. It's called Doggy Dog Christmas. It's all about all of the food on Christmas and about the cheese. Fantastic song.
Okay, I'll check it out. I can't believe he did a whole album.
Oh, wait, there's a Snoop Dogg with Boys to Men called Christmas in the Ghetto. Oh, I
Oh,
bet that's
Huh.
good.
I wonder how many units of this he sold.
I don't know.
Doesn't
I don't know,
say.
but
God,
excellent.
he's got a big catalog of music.
Yeah, well, he's been in the game for a while. Been in the game.
Yeah, yeah, crazy.
So how's your video doing, Derek? I didn't even. So now I gotta see.
Oh, it's like I think maybe a couple views probably. Like I said, I hit publish on it at like 3, so I
Yeah,
don't plan to. I got a comment earlier that I responded to, but other than that, I don't plan to look at it for at least 24 hours.
Right,
fair
right,
enough.
right.
Don't want to drive myself crazy.
Yes. Do you guys do this? Do you play this game with yourself where like when a video comes out, will you whenever I publish a video, I will like not look at it for like 2 or 3 days cuz I'm just like nervous to see how it did.
Oh, dude, I check it like every 5 minutes for the first hour.
Really, eh?
And I'm like, oh no, it's 9 out of 10. And I'm
And
like, you gotta change something.
cuz like when I put out a video while I was in London and then I just didn't check it until I got home and like I think it was even like the day after I got home cuz I was just too nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I
I
mean,
do that
honestly,
all
that's
the
kind of
time
how I
with
felt
videos.
about this last video. I was like, I don't think this is gonna do well. And I'm like, oh, number
Yeah.
2 of 10.
Okay, there you
Okay.
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So, yeah, it's always nice when you play that game with yourself and then you're pleasantly
Yeah.
surprised by the results when you actually look at them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, my channel came from I guess I'm closer to 0 than the two of you, so I'm closer to that. You don't want to look at it in the beginning because there's probably not going to be anything for at least the first 24 hours.
Yeah, it's hard to get traction, especially early
Yeah.
on, right?
Don't have enough data. You're like, oh, it's number 10
Yeah.
out of 10, but it's like, oh, I have 7 views.
Yeah, or I have 7 videos total, and
It's
it's
10 of 10 of 7.
yeah.
I remember when I put out my first like 5 or 10 YouTube videos, it'd be like a couple days. I'm like, oh, first view, right on. There we
Right, yeah.
go.
Hell yeah, let's go. 1 view.
You're like, this one got 10?
Yeah.
Average duration 1/10 of a second. I was like, we're getting places. We're getting places. Oh, I'll never forget how frustrating it was to start a channel.
Yeah.
Oh
What
yeah,
was the most frustrating part?
everything.
It's just literally everything. Dumping hundreds of hours into stuff that nobody watches and it doesn't move you forward in the direction you want to go at all.
No, no.
Yeah, I think managing my own emotions around poor performing videos was the hardest part.
Yeah,
Like just
Mm.
not letting it discourage you and trying to just keep that mindset. I think actually maybe one of the hardest things about it was that you put a video out and it's 10 out of 10, it sucks, it's a stinker, and you don't really know why.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, it took me a while to kind of figure out the framework to properly assess why certain videos did better than others.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think that was the most frustrating thing is because you put like you don't have much data to go on. You have even if you're very prolific in your first year, you do 30 videos. 30 data points isn't really that much
No.
Yeah.
to kind of formulate a theory on. So you're like, my videos aren't performing well. That's frustrating. And not only that, but I don't know why they're not performing well.
And I'm losing money.
Yeah,
I'm
and yeah,
hemorrhaging money doing this.
I'm spending money to do these things. I'm spending my own time, and I just
And the
don't know
people
why I
that
suck.
host the game keep changing the rules
Yeah.
and moving the
That's
goalpost.
that too. That too. Yeah.
Ugh. I don't ever want to restart a channel.
Well, now I feel like I could do it better, obviously, because I know all the
Yeah.
things that I know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But it would still suck. But I honestly don't know that there's really much advantage to having a lot of stuff. Like I think I could get back to the position I'm at now relatively quickly if I lost my channel tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Because I know, like I
Give a
I
year
mean,
or two.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Post a couple N64 videos. I mean,
Yeah, exactly, right? But it took me 3 years or whatever to learn that Nintendo
yeah.
64 videos perform well.
But you're going after what you were interested in,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
You just figured out how to get other people interested in it as well.
yeah, which is
Or
not necessarily always the easiest thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, speaking of losing channels, I remember a while back, Eric, you lost your Instagram account and then you started that backup Instagram account. Do you still
Oh
keep up
yeah.
with that now that you're verified, or is that just gone away?
Oh, I don't even know. I
Yeah.
think I still have it. I never deleted it.
But you
But
don't
you
keep
don't
up
post
with
to
it.
it anymore. Yeah.
No, no, it's a waste of
That,
time.
Yeah, yeah. I had one of those success calls with a rep from Meta.
How much of
oh,
a waste of time was that?
A pretty big waste of time.
They hit me up all the time. They're like, "We'd love to chat with you," and I just ignore it.
Yeah,
yeah, it's funny. I've seen a couple people post videos about the same phone call, and
yeah,
they all hit the same notes. They
yeah,
get the same information, and they ask basically the same questions, and they're given basically the same answers. It's
yeah.
just
Do you
They
it's
got
post
a system.
crazy.
reels? Yeah. Well, how often do you post them? Once or twice a day. Oh, okay. Do you use training audio? Yeah, sometimes. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, just keep doing that.
Yeah,
Like,
Use
great.
and be sure to use our editing software. No,
yeah.
No, absolutely not.
The guy also told me he was like, you should really start a broadcast channel.
yeah,
And
The
then
hell is
when
a
you,
broadcast channel?
I don't.
another way to annoy your followers.
Well, that's the thing. His advice to me was to every time you post, let everybody know in the broadcast channel and tell them to go interact with the post.
I would murder you if you invited me to. I would
Yeah,
leave that thing so fast.
yeah. He was like, like he was kind of weird about it too. He was like, like the people who are in your broadcast channel are going to be like your most diehard fans. So just tell them to do something and they're probably going to do it. And I was like, oh, that feels gross. Like,
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I
yeah.
it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
It was very clear that this was just like a guy that was hired to do this job.
To
Yeah.
read a script.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, like he's just like, some 22-year-old guy they handed a script to off the street and we're like, "Hey, call people and read the script to them."
I mean, I had pretty much the exact same interaction when I did one of these YouTube partner success manager things.
Right.
I did like one or two, and then I realized both of them were an absolute waste of time. This girl would constantly email me, and I would say, I'm going to respectfully decline from this because I did not gain any value from this.
Yeah.
And would hit me up multiple times a week. Hey, I have an opening. I'd love to talk to you about this. Again,
Why?
I'm respectfully declining this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. Oh, but whew. Hey, I had a quick question, Derek. I noticed that you had done some like fancy Christmas light stuff.
Oh yeah.
So these are not like your standard like go to Target, get the strings of Christmas lights. Tell me about these things.
Govey, baby.
Yeah. I went online, and my wife mentioned last year at the end of Christmas that she wanted to do permanent holiday lights, and we had talked
Okay.
about going with some company called Jelly Lights, and so this year we're getting closer, and it's like October, so I start looking into it, and the Jelly Lights are like thousands of dollars to have them come out and install these things, and then I came across the Govey lights, which are essentially the same thing,
So is these
and
jelly lights like not a DIY thing? You have to call the company basically.
from what I've the little bit that I gleaned and I read online, because there wasn't a whole lot. You hire them to come out and do it, or I think you can buy them, but you have to go to their place to pick them up. Like I don't think they
Oh.
deliver it. It's like they deal with pros only type of thing. So
Okay.
I found the Govey lights. Everybody was raving about them online, which you take with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Did a little more research on them and went ahead and pulled the trigger, because they were like, I could get the Govey Pros for, I think it was like 600, and install them myself and then wrap the whole house. So I went ahead and ordered those up, installed these Govey lights on my house. I mean, you've seen what they look pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do
They're
multiple
great.
colors on them, and then whenever Christmas is over, we're just going to turn the brightness down on them to like
Yeah.
1 or 2%, and just have them be these nice soft white accent
Yeah,
lights that run the
totally.
whole
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Huh.
And I got to most of it. I just put up my ladder and I was able to get to most of it. But we have a 2-story house. And then whenever I went to go do the second story, it's like 35 feet up. And my
Yeah.
ladder goes to 22 feet. So I ended up going to Home Depot and renting a bucket lift, parking it in my driveway, and riding the lift up to the roof line and attaching for the second floor
Huh.
using that thing. But they were a little tedious to get working at first, because there's like a voltage, there's like some voltage regulation going on. So like
Oh,
Sure.
after a
interesting.
certain so like after a certain length, they kind of like flicker unless
Oh,
you have
inject power in.
yeah
Yeah.
their extensions have these little like nodules on them around the connections, and I think they either tell the main power supply to boost the signal because there's an extension, or they themselves somehow boost the signal. And
Mm,
it took me a while to kind of figure out where to put everything to get it to
yeah.
work right, but I got it working. It took me a couple days, but it got working.
Nice.
So it's like $200 for 100 feet. Does that
Of
seem about
the
right?
Okay.
Well, it depends on if you go with the pro or the regulars. You can get the regulars, I want to say, for a little under, I think right around 300, and it's like 100 feet,
Okay.
or 400 for 200 feet, something like that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the pro version are actually brighter, and they do true whites. They have 5 LEDs. They have a red, blue, green, and then they have 2 white LEDs.
Oh,
Whereas
cool.
the regulars just have the red, blue, and green, and to go white, they just shine it all.
Yeah.
So you get a little more control over your whites if you go with the pro, and like I said, they're a little brighter,
Dude,
but they're
these
more
look
expensive.
nuts. That's
Yeah.
cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
And let me just say, as somebody who would always like have to help my parents and stuff with Christmas lights and stuff, oh my dude, it's
Permanent's
a
the way
whole
to go.
day thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just put them up once.
yeah. So I put them up now, and hopefully I won't have to do it for another, I'm hoping, like 10 years.
Right. Right. So you said like all in for a standard size home, you're doing basically just like the roof line, right?
Yeah,
And it
it'd
said it's like
probably be
$600.
400 to 600, depending on if you wanted the 100 or because I did the 200, but I only ended up using about 100 feet of it. So
Okay.
really, I could have
Right.
got away with the 100, but I couldn't find the 100. I had to buy the 200 because the 100 wasn't
Um,
available until after I got my 200, and then I could find the 100 all day.
So
But
how much are regular Christmas lights? Are they like 10, $15 a box?
Maybe even more
maybe,
than
yeah,
that.
it depends on
Maybe
which ones you
20 bucks.
want.
Yeah.
I want to say that we got just like GE's LED ones a couple years ago
Sure,
that were the
well, you
short.
find it like Target or whatever.
Yeah, they were just like the short icicle ones that
Right,
made them go,
right.
Yeah.
and they were like $20 a box,
And how long was the box? How long? Like 12 feet probably?
100 feet.
It was 100
It
feet?
was either 50 or 100 feet. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I took it downstairs. I was gonna say I had one, but I took it downstairs.
See, I don't, I remember mine being much shorter than that. Like all these strands that you'd pull out of the box and have to connect all the strands together.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
when they started going LED, they could make them longer. So now they'll come in like
Oh.
usually I think between 25 and 50 feet, depending on which ones you get.
Yeah.
So it's roughly 10x the price.
To go with the Gobies,
Yeah.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
they're
But then also
permanent.
think about what's your time worth, right?
Oh yeah, no. I'm not poo pooing on it.
Yeah, no,
whatsoever.
totally.
It's just trying to get a rough. If you're gonna say, okay, you're gonna spend roughly 10x the cost, you never have to take them down.
Yeah.
No.
And it's gonna be a much higher quality light. You
Yeah.
can reprogram them. Do like so? Can you do like by zones? Be like, okay, I want the first 12 LEDs to be blue, then the second 4 to be another zone. Like, can you do that?
That's the other selling point of the Pro versus the regular. With the regulars, you can do that in groups of like I think 4. But if you go with the
Mm,
Pro, you can control each light individually
right.
and
Ah.
do a whole lot more with the programming. And then they've also got like other stuff that the Govee brand sells to go on the outside of your house. Like they have a curtain of lights that'll
Yeah.
display like an LED image if you want
Get
to.
out of
So you
town.
put that on top of your garage door, and then they've
Get
got
out
like
of
lights that you
town.
can wrap on your trees and stuff like that. And then they
That's
got a
fun.
little box that you can put out there, and it plays all the lights to music. So then
Get out of town.
Huh. So you have like a speaker right there blasting Christmas music, and then it makes all of your lights sync up with it.
yeah, like I think it works through the app in your phone, but yeah, like
Cool.
it's kind of what it does.
I need to get this stuff. Man, I could make my house like a mecca for people on hallucinogenic drugs.
What, you mean it isn't already?
So like they can like they can get covered in snow and like get rained on and stuff,
Yeah, I
no
think they're all
problem.
sealed up pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. So how did you learn about these? Did you learn about them through YouTubers?
Yeah, actually, the first couple videos I saw were on YouTube. I was just searching up permanent outdoor Christmas lights DIY, and it was these, and there's like 2 other brands that are very similar, like
Okay.
Eufy or something like that was
Oh
another
yeah.
one. And
Oh, not the brand that Zach was hawking that they steal everybody's data or whatever. Because somebody got mad at you for, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, but there's a few different ones, and then I think even like whenever I went on Amazon looking for them, there's like what do you call them, like other brands or whatever. I don't know.
A bunch of
No,
BS
oh,
no name brands.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to say knockoff, but yeah, no name brands,
Yeah.
the import brands or whatever. Yeah,
Questionable integrity and,
yeah,
and product quality, right?
Yes.
yeah.
So
I could spend
after putting
600
those
here or 25 here.
right after putting those up, are you like, why didn't I do permanent Christmas lights earlier?
Uh, no, I mean yes and no. I would like to have, but I don't know that they existed in this. Like I think this is the first year that these Gobies have come out. I don't know. They may have been out
Oh,
last year, but I don't think they're that old. I don't
okay,
think they've been
Right.
around that long.
that makes
I
sense.
think this is a kind of a within the last couple of years. This is a new thing. The permanent
Yeah.
outdoor lights, at least for the average consumer. I know high end. I'm sure they've had because I know the jellyfish things have been around for I want to say like 5 or 10 years.
Huh. I've never
I know
heard
that like the
before.
malls around here tend to have them because they'll like do orange lights, above stores for like,
Yeah.
Halloween and like, 4th of
Yeah.
July lights and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't know that people did them residentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I guess I
the
think that's new.
that's the nice thing about doing this now is, it's not just Christmas. You basically get every holiday you can set your things to.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm
yeah,
looking forward to launching it with different colors every holiday now.
yeah,
You could
yeah,
do all
totally.
red and people would think it was like a brothel.
Yeah, true.
Get
Good
some
for
side
Valentine's
income,
Day.
Derek.
Yeah.
Come on down. Derek's home. Well, speaking of brothels,
On that note, yeah,
yeah, we probably got
Yeah.
to head over to the live chat with the
to
patrons tonight.
to our brothel.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you guys got anything we want to add, or you want to head over to the group chat?
No, thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys
Yeah.
next week. See you, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all those other holidays.
Whatever
Absolutely.
you happen to celebrate, I'm happy for
We're
you.
here for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Festivus. For
Festivus,
everyone else,
even
don't
the
forget
made-up
to air your
ones like Festivus.
grievances. Everybody, hey, seriously, we appreciate you listening. We're almost at episode 100, which
I
is an
know, crazy.
episode that Green Suitor said we would never get to.
Proving them wrong.
So we regretfully tell you 99 will be our last episode.
Hey, we're rolling in with a good head of steam.
Yeah, and we got some guests coming up.
Yeah.
We're not going to reveal them quite yet. We can reveal them on the group chat. Patrons can get first access to know what the guests are going to be.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. Everybody, have a great holiday season. Stay safe out there. Don't listen to the Green Suitors podcast.
That's right.
See ya.
See ya. Sorry for coughing on air. I was like, do I cover the mic? Do I cover my mouth? How do I avoid this?
Oh, I hit the mute button. That's what I do.
Is there a mute button?
On the
There's
bottom
a mute
bar.
button. Oh, man, yeah. Well, now I know.
I think you can do, well, there's a keyboard shortcut too. Yeah, Control D.
Control D.
Control D. Control D is not.
Yep, then you go muted.
Cool.
Control D. Huh. That must not work. Oh, no,
Yeah.
it does. Oh, Command D. Command D.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Want to head over to the live chat?
Hell
Or
yeah.
the group chat?
Yeah.